going to need all the sympathy and tissues today. Craziness has unleashed for the merry band. Duh. And the current mood is deep in the maggot-filled dumps. Within a couple of days, there has been a devilish balance of accomplishments and loss, highlighting once again, I need to be better at taking on a zombie apocalypse.
Time is ticking.
Let's get into it. After Mark's rally with 2 plague hearts down the road, I got him back home and handed the baton to Kristen for a supply run. Right away, I was both annoyed and reminiscent with a slight glitch. I discovered the van has invisibility capabilities, making me think I've come across Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy's infamous ride.
Mermaid Man, I think I
Found it!
I had Kristen return to Rooster Ridge to pick up what was left behind in the construction site and head up the military outpost not too far away. When I got her to the construction site, the Gimme Loot mission enacted, which brought a bunch of Z's. Before helping, I searched the unfinished house and got 2 russicks of material. Then, for 3 minutes, I did my best to help the duo. Thankfully, their aim was one of the unfinished homes. There have been times I've agreed to help and their aim was well down the road, and they rather walk than get a ride. All goes well, we each take on a fair amount of Z's, and I earn another rucksack of material. I visit the nearby water town to pinpoint the supply drop of a mysterious broadcast, taking on a horde led by a feral, plus another at the military base. I dropped off all I could in my medical outpost and headed over to the supply drop, which went well. Before heading back, I had Kristen stop by an abandoned store down in Kettle Rock Bend for food. Though not an injury-free evening turned morning, all went well. Yet sadly, may be the last of the good times.
You need a reason to get up in the morning, and sometimes even after you find one, life can turn right around and spit in your face.
With the sun up, I decided to take on some plague hearts. I chose my titan Geronimo to do what he does best. Yet on the way to my target, the wrench turners reached out for some help to move. I agreed and headed over to the Senkins Auto Repair in Santa Maya, accompanied by one of the wrench turners. I technically cleared the infestation that awaited us, yet the hosting screamer did get a good belt out and attracted a few diverse hordes. I pulled out all the stops to keep the wrench turner alive, destroying the van and pushed into the red in the process. But the wrench turner got overwhelmed too many times and a bloater cloud took him out. The mission failed and I needed to figure my escape. Though in an instant the other wrench turners appeared and helped make a clearing for me to get back home for a cure. This should have inspired me to not be so helpful.
There are times when you help people, and then there are times when if you help people, you end up being killed. So, you don't help people.
A survivor reached out for help, revealing to be a level 2 infestation in the small shack of the truck depot in Tamfield. 2 screamers, 2 ferals, and a juggernaut present. Again, I did all I could, technically cleared the infestation, though a nearby heart awakened. Yet the survivors trapped themselves in the shack, and the Juggernaut's roars attracted more Z's, losing the survivors, and the escape was not easy.
You don't help people.
Sad and annoyed, I took my frustration out on the awakened plague hearts, the first at the spiral station, whacking at the heart, setting it ablaze, and clearing and securing the building once it was defeated.
Oh my god! That felt so good!
The second heart was over in a bright green house not far away. Bobbing in and out, working my heavy weapon overtime, I attracted a couple of hordes. Geronimo has a high stamina meter, so the energy stimulants go a long way. Defeating the plague heart, lighting the hordes up with a few fiery cocktails, I also cleared the infestation next door, which I should have done before beating up the hearts.
Priorities is a party game and absurd choices.
As I collected the goods, a survivor in need shows up right behind Jay. I hope he wasn't watching me take care of all this. An extra hand would have been great.
Help me!
He got separated from his group not too far away. There's a lot of should've, could've, and if onlys coming up. I decided to bring him on over, diving right into a level 3 infestation with 3 screamers, 2 ferals, and a juggernaut. I wasn't expecting the drama and didn't store the rust sack I took from the heart. I should have just left, especially after the guy hopped out of my car before figuring parking. I could have used my wide rear end to battle the juggernaut. If only I'd thrown an explosive before entering the warehouse. An extra dodge, a different direction, more energy to whack at the crowd. I ran out and went for the van, infected from the ferals. I gestured to inject the cure, but it was interrupted by a perfect setup. One of the ferals got me down, and the juggernaut ran up and landed a ground pound, losing Geronimo to the blood plague in an instant. A mighty titan has fallen.
You don't help people.
It's all my fault. But I must continue. The duo that is my love connection are on their own. Whenever a character dies, they are gone forever, and the body must be found to retrieve what they had on them. In this case, plus the van. I chose Mark to do the deed. I had him grab some gas and get over to our starter car. What's to come has inspired me to develop a fleet of cars to handle all situations. I make it back to the warehouse. The survivors still going at it, though as I worked on the juggernaut with my petite booty, the mission failed. Sad, yet mostly I came back for Geronimo's body and the crossbow. With my 45, I took out the infestation including the ferals. Even if I was distracted looking out for Geronimo, the map has him at the scene. The noise brought in a crowd, so I ran around a bit and led them away. When successful, I returned to the warehouse because the map still places Geronimo there, yet he was nowhere to be found.
Where is my baby?
Convinced it's a glitch, I restart and instantly shudder when I see him. His skin red from the blood plague. To not disturb him and guarantee a last view of the starry sky, I creeped up behind him and laid him out. In his honor, I searched the shipping hub. As I did, the last of the wrench turners wanted to join us. 2 more members and mechanics are certainly welcome in the moment. Approaching my invisible van, it reminded me I only have room for 1 more. Some that I agreed to take on need a ride home while others walk back. I made it to the wrench turners and agreed to take them, and they walked back. The new recruits, Frankie and Christy, are beginner characters. They may be siblings or old co-workers, both locksmiths. Frankie cannot level up in fighting, though both have advanced into stealth, stamina to be built, and shooting ability to be determined. Right away, Frankie wants to find his brother, who was a local police officer. Another character with strong shooting or fighting skills will be a great help. I took on the challenge and headed out, leaving him in the look he chose for this life. I like fashion. I started his shift helping another group move. Easily done since their desired location is right next to my medical outpost in Rooster Ridge. Then I head over to search for Frankie's brother. Here is where I left quite a mess and had to flee over a mistake. Of course I would, especially in a plague zone right next to a plague heart.
I hate your stinking guts.
Searching for Frankie's brother involved visiting the police station in Kettle Rock Bend. I head over, park in front, and head towards the back, realizing my exit may be a hassle. Marking a plague heart on the map in the medical facility right next door, and spotting a juggernaut near the van. I continue into the police station and complete the mission and collect some goods. In an attempt to lure things away from me, I decide to use the tube of fire fireworks I found. Yet, instead of it flying off into the direction I set out for, Frankie places it down right in front of him by the van's trunk. It sucks to say I've confused the decoys.
You make me vomit.
The mistake attracted more than I could handle. I tried to divert the horde away, yet got pushed into the red when I made a run for it, awakening the plague heart over the fence. I was able to get Frankie out just in time, yet knew I had to start the extermination of hearts in the area. All healed and ready to go, I switched to Kristen for her first battle with a pile of mutated flesh. The sun was out, and I targeted the plague hearts and the value wagon. The fight went well, plenty of swings, a couple of feral heads, and ended it with a toast. Despite success, a wandering horde infested the building, which attracted a couple more, including 4 bloaters I barely missed. I took out the screamer and burned the rest with a few more headshots and swings, able to gather some goods. As I did, there was another call for help.
What is going on upstairs has nothing to do with you.
The call came from an ancient bar nearby, and I helped the 2 survivors take down a simple horde, which went well, and they ended up wanting to join the community. Both are beginner characters. Caleb has people skills, which sounds silly but does garner more influence, and Dorothy is a gardener. The pair are great additions. The only obstacle is getting them both safely home. Again, I only have 1 seat available, and people skills got to it first. I wish the gardener did, especially when I spotted a trio of ferals on the first step back home. Of course, attacking the new member that has to walk. It was an epic 3 versus 3 battle that left both newbies with plague, though I didn't realize it till I got back to base. Since my meds are low, I had to tuck both into infirmary beds, yet the gardener didn't make it back in time and sadly passed before I could get to her. Depending which way she was going, the road I took was littered with a screamer, juggernaut, and feral. I truly got a shiver from a thought that popped into my head. The universe was not on this poor woman's side. From her partner brushing past her to the passenger seat every time, the ferals waiting for her at the exit door, the many screamers in Z's about, and the menaces that awaited her on the last leg of the journey. Infected badly, despite fighting hard, she did land a crossbow shot that helped finish the feral I couldn't run over. I for sure didn't want to leave her to face it all alone. People skills is in the red, and I have to get more goods to help him. In Dorothy's honor, I'll keep him. Maybe she stepped back for him. Then I took a break. Wow, in 2 days so much has happened. Mere successes and major loss. Left with a desperate to-do list to protect my peoples. Reviewing the footage I recorded, I need to invest more in vehicles. I admit I haven't upgraded vehicles in the game, and I want to get to a position where in case of emergencies, I can switch out rides in the field, all enhanced to battle. The car is the greatest tool and weapon, and I have been quite basic in overall use. Upgrading will allow me to do basic stuff like giving survivors a lift. I also need to harness the use of decoys, incendiaries, and explosives. The fear of using them ended in the death of a character I've had in my pool since the implementation of the legacy pool abilities, and the horde fireworks mistake that could have been great. I'm not a fan of them, so I'm not surprised they played me in the end. Lastly, for sure, check the health status of our followers, especially after a tremendous battle. Anyway, I shall be back with more gameplay and hopefully more improvement. Stay safe.